Hey, welcome back. Glad to have you again this week. We're glad to have you every week, for that matter.
That's true.
Because we're here and we like to talk, and we're glad that you either watch us live or you can pick us up at your convenience anytime, except when you're driving.
Well, you
And
can do it when you're driving. No, you could. That's not true. You
well, you
can
could
do it when you're
listen to it.
driving.
Yeah,
You can
catch
listen
us
to
on
it on
Spotify.
Spotify. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts. You
Yeah,
can check out all the past episodes too. Go back over the last 3 years. Maybe you missed a couple weeks. Put it on
yeah.
when you're cleaning. Just ask your Amazon Alexa to play it, and it'll play it.
But there ain't nothing like seeing us, because
Yeah,
that just adds so much to the
it does.
experience.
It does. It changes everything.
That's like listening to a ball game on the radio instead of
Yeah.
watching it in person or
True.
on
True.
TV.
True.
So, but we're here. Hey, I know the weather is getting a little bit colder and everything. But I was thinking about I drove past a playground that is undergoing some rehab and everything. You take Luke to the playground often, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I haven't gone in a while. I need to. But yeah, we do. We have a playground that's in walking, a couple of them, but one that's in really close walking distance to us, and it is just beat up ghetto. But they actually have the plans, and they showed us. I went to one of their online Zoom Frisco parks, whatever the crap, and you could watch what the renovations are going to be and kind of vote on it and all that. Man, it's going to be really nice once they do that and renovate that. But we go to a lot, and that's the one thing about here in this area. There are a lot of good playgrounds and parks to go to.
Yeah, the probably the premier park that we've got here in Frisco is over at Frisco Commons.
That's a big one, yeah.
And all, because that was a well-planned park. What's cool about this park, folks, and maybe you've got them in your cities, is when you walk through the main entrance, if they've got an area like to the right for the real little toddlers, then there's an area in the back that's maybe for the kids that are grade school age. Then when you get over to the left side they've got like adult size swings for the teens and the adults and everything. So it's a large park that's segmented so you can go different places.
It's a very nice park. There's a splash pad right by there.
Yeah, in the
Great
summertime.
walking trails.
Boy, does that place get the business in the summertime. That's
well, and that's one of the places too that they first started doing the drone deliveries for the fast food there.
Oh,
So
really?
you can
I didn't even know
literally,
that.
yeah. There's several. Luke and I went about a year or two ago when they were testing the drones.
Makes
Now there are
sense.
places in the area that'll drone deliver food because they have that huge eating area there. I mean, so much different than we were kids, and we got stuck on like a rusty teeter-totter with a sliver going up our butt cheeks,
Right.
you know,
Or the igloo shaped climbing device.
which was just gross.
That I mean that.
Oh,
that
the
was,
metal one, the
yeah,
metal one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
It was.
to us, it was like climbing Kilimanjaro.
Oh my God. And then and God forbid when you climbed it. I mean, if it was summertime, you were burning yourself.
Well, that you had to you could climb it, but you couldn't touch it.
Yeah, it was so crazy. Or then like the hot metal slides
Right.
and then they had the random pull-up bars, you felt like you're in prison doing exercise,
Right. And the surface on the bottom was gravel.
Gravel or just cement.
Right. So if you fell off of this climbing device, you were either going to really scuff up something or maybe break an arm or a leg because you landed on concrete. Or
it was disastrous. Now they have like either wood chips or rubber, like the recycled tires.
Yeah.
Or like that rubber bouncy stuff. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. They're doing that on high school and college tracks now too.
Yeah, they are
reconstituted tires.
It's always amazes me some of the things like they used to have like the horses that you would just go back and forth on, but they were metal, so inevitably they get worn out and you just hit the ground.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. They had that, and you're right. What we called the teeter-totter.
Now the teeter-totter,
now it's called a seesaw.
I don't know. I call it a teeter-totter. I always have.
Yeah, it's still a teeter-totter to us. And then they always had a swing set. Maybe one of the swings was operable. The other two, the seat was
Yeah.
hanging down because
it was
it broke.
wonky, or and they were long chains, so you could wrap them up and
Yeah.
then just. And then they always had, like, let's not forget the basketball nets that didn't have a net, just a metal.
Yeah, and you were lucky if it had a backboard.
If it had a backboard, or if the net, or if it was just a backboard, that was it. And you had to pretend there was a net, you know.
And they used sometimes if you were in a better playground in your neighborhood, it had one of those what do you call it, like a horizontal ladder that you'd go from rung to rung.
Yeah, the monkey bars and all that.
Yeah, right.
The greatest thing in the playgrounds when I was a kid was when they started to put the kind of forts together. And it was like, you go up on the stairs and there'd be a little half bouncy bridge and then another platform with a slide. And that was like, you took over the bridge, you were like king of the castle. Like, this was your domain.
Right.
And we had that in groups, or like if we were chilling on the bridge, other people weren't coming on. They're like, we don't know those guys, are the older kids, man. We gotta stand down. And then under the bridge, you usually did things you weren't supposed to, like swear or maybe kiss a girl or write your name on something.
Yeah. Well, the kissing the girl was under the slide.
We didn't do it under the slide.
Which also in our day, they made the slides out of metal. So
yeah.
In the summertime, when it's 100 degrees outside, you'd burn your thighs off on going down, and either that or you'd get halfway down the slide and you'd stick there because they weren't smooth. If there was a sandbox, you'd go over and get the sand and throw sand on the slide to make it more.
They give you now 9 times out of 10 they'll have a warning, like especially in Texas, they'll have a warning that says, maybe hot. But now they have this different material, and there might be plastic slides.
That's right.
Those still get hot, but they when my son was in preschool, they got rid of the monkey bars. They pulled them out.
Did they?
Yeah.
Right, now kids were falling off of them.
Kids were falling. Now in my son's school now, first day of school or second day of school, some kid fell off the monkey bars and broke his arm. I told Luke, I go, bro.
Yeah.
No. I want him to be a boy, do your thing, but please don't break your arm.
I'm surprised now that there isn't somebody at the entrance that has you sign a disclaimer or
a waiver.
But yeah, before you go in,
we probably did when we signed him up, and we have no idea.
Well, when you signed him up for school, that was part of it. That if he falls on the playground, it's not our responsibility.
I remember when I was in elementary school, like 4th grade, on recess, they had these big, like when you're driving down the street and they're doing construction and you see those round giant cement like pipes or whatever they are. They it looked like somebody cut the top off these and painted them different colors. And they had like 3 of them scattered throughout, and they had a hole that you could crawl in or you could climb over. Stupidest things in the world. I mean, that's all they were. It was just like, you get in and you sit in there and you're just talking. But like, they were always nasty because we were eating candy and sticking bubble gum on the, and like, you just get away from it. I remember my buddy would, like, they get called in from recess. My buddy's like, yeah, I'm not going in today. And I was like, what do you mean you're not going in today? I'm just going to stay out here. I'll go in later. And he would hide in there until they had to come out and find the kid.
And today's playgrounds, they've got like forts you can climb up into, and all. And like you said, the drawbridge that you go from one area to the other. It's incredible. And what they've done with multi-level sandboxes, even they even have these like you were talking about the little horses.
The metal horses.
Now you can get on an apparatus similar to that, and it's like a front loader that you can scoop up the sand and move it over here and drop it. And I mean, it's incredible what they've done. And they put landscaping all around them. They put nice benches in for the adults to sit on.
Well, and that's what a park is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a spot to relax and play and enjoy and have a bit of maybe nature in an area that doesn't normally have it. We went down to Dallas this past summer, and now I'm going to forget the name of the place. I want to say Fair Park. It's not Fair Park. I just can't think of the name of this place, but it's this strip downtown, and they've got food trucks, and they've got donuts and cappuccinos and whatever.
About Katy Trail?
No, not Katy Trail. It's going to come to me, and it's a really cool. They've got multiple fountains and splash pads and these amazing parks in the middle of like the business district. And we went down there, and it was, I mean, we know what it was like this summer, it was hot, but we were getting wet. We were getting our food. And it was so cool because here you are, downtown Dallas, cities, buildings everywhere. And you've got this awesome, long, huge strip, getting snow cones, going down here, getting this, and then just playing. And I wish I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but I know exactly where it is, but I just can't remember the name. And man, it was so fun. And that's what a park should be. I know it's a lot of money, but it's worth it because you are not only drawing people there from the city, you're drawing people like me that you're going to put money back into the city,
Yeah. I've also seen that they're putting in the parks now too is these oversized chess sets.
Yes.
With the great big, almost child-sized pieces, and you can.
We had that with the
checkers,
Connect Four.
Connect Four, yeah. And I mean that's cool because number one, now you can involve some adults in some of that too. But what I haven't seen in ages and ages that we grew up with was marble setups, the circles for kids to play marbles.
Oh, they don't do that anymore, dude. Nobody does that.
No, I guess because marbles is considered to be a dangerous weapon now.
They'll eat them. Yeah, marbles were dangerous back in the day, man.
I played marbles in the days before we realized you could eat them.
Right, yeah, we didn't, like kids. I mean, kids eat Tide Pods now. You think you want to give them marbles? I mean, they're idiots,
But that was always a gift that you gave it when we were growing up. When you went to a kids party. Whenever you leave a little bag and it had some candy and stuff in it, a little bag of marbles. Yeah,
here's a glass ball that nobody knows what to do with it. You can't throw it. You can flick them, but they look pretty, but they're
yeah.
It's like that and jacks, the little jacks.
Yeah, well, that you could play that at the same circle.
Let me play this. It's like you're throwing out little landmines everywhere just to step on. They're the worst toys ever.
And the marble and jack area was also on the hot concrete.
Of course it was. Of course. And then they have the little, what is it, Foursquare, hop skip, whatever. Yeah. And that was always there. And then it's really interesting to see. And I as a parent, and I think it's great. And I think that is something that the city should spend money on. Much more productive than spending money on some of the other stuff they do.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, put the trees, especially Frisco. Frisco needs it. There's so many families here, but they need to incorporate the nature because there's really not a lot of, if you're not downtown Frisco, you're not getting any trees that are taller than me. You know what I mean? So
right. The new housing developments also put in a tree that's 3 feet high, and that's not going to be mature for 20 years.
Right. Yeah. So to me, like, incorporate those trees. If Dallas is over here dropping huge trees in shade, surely the city of Frisco, Mr. Build Everything, can put some trees in,
Well, I know that there are a lot of more city planners and probably more the urban areas where if there's a new development that's going in, they mandate that like 20% of the total area has to be green space.
Sure.
With trees, with walking paths, with benches and things like that.
Absolutely.
And that's a great idea. And we're from the Midwest, and what the Midwest did, which is really cool, is the railroad became kind of a thing of the past. And what they did was, instead of just tearing out all of the railroad beds, they converted those into walking, jogging, biking paths. And
that's cool.
And that's great too, because you've repurposed that area. They just took the rails out and and turned it into a pathway. And if I'm not mistaken, you can get on an old railroad bed path and go from Iowa all the way over to Ohio.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
They've connected them. They've connected them. And the only hard part is when you have to cross a highway.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea. I feel like there's just somebody walking those like that's how serial killers are born.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. Like at least you're repurposing, you're making something unique. And I think that's one thing that this area that we are in struggles with. They're better at it now, but they struggle with the uniqueness. They're all like, they just announced something about this new downtown, blah, blah, nobody cares. And I'm like, where's all the fun stuff? Where's the unique green space happening,
Right.
But when they're getting better at it, so I'm not here to bash the city. It is cool and it's cool to see. But when I go to other places, I'm like, oh man, look, like downtown Plano, which is a suburb not too far from us, they do an amazing job. Downtown McKinney, quite frankly, blows downtown Frisco out of the water. There's trees everywhere. So it's interesting to see what we can incorporate and how the playgrounds have really changed.
Yeah. Another thing I'm starting to see on some of the playgrounds is these large canvas like umbrellas.
Yes.
That will go to create a little bit of a shade area.
And that's cool.
Growing up, man, the playground was out in the open. You rode your bike over there and then you'd come home with your knees all bloodied and all from
sweat
falling.
Just dripping down, ripped up shirt. You were literally out there in the Sahara Desert. Just
yeah. But it prepared us for the military service.
There you go. That's fair. It's training.
But those, as they say, were the good, and those also, the playgrounds, you also played dodgeball and Red Rover, and you played games and tag and stuff like that. When you played tag, it was out in the open. You couldn't play hide and seek because there was no place to hide.
Yeah, you just ran around and hit each other,
Yeah, but that is missing a little bit now today. Every once in a while, when my grandson was going through grade school, when he was out at recess, they had those nice, soft, reconstituted rubber tire surfaces, and the kids would run around the playground and all, and they'd play tag.
Luke was telling me yesterday that he apparently, I thought he could always do this, but I guess I was wrong. Yesterday, his friend taught him how to skip. So they were skipping, and I was like, buddy, I swear you've been doing it, but maybe whatever. And so he said they were skipping all recess, and I was like, all right, hey,
that's cool.
Do your energy, bro.
So it's almost given me the want to go to a local playground or something.
Yeah, you should bring a kid though. They frown on that if you don't.
Well, yeah, because otherwise somebody's watching you and they're dialing 911.
Yeah, I've done that. I've watched people. I'm like, "Where's your kid at? Where's your dog at?"
Yeah. There's
what are you doing here?
There's this old guy that walks around just smiling at all of the kids on the playground. What can I say? Well, the whole world is our playground.
That's true. It is.
So
when I go to work today, I'm just going to play around for the next 8 hours.
Right. Make it your playground.
I'm just going to pretend that I'm working and hope that nobody figures out that
I'll be with you in a minute. I'm playing over here.
I just want to, if I play busy, then nobody will bother me and they'll think that I'm doing something and that I really just don't want to be there. So.
Yeah. You always want to carry a clipboard and a pen.
Yeah. And the great thing is too, I put my phone out. I'm not looking at memes. I'm texting vendors.
Yeah,
ordering,
that's why you take the clipboard and you just, if somebody's you just check off this column and that column.
Just walk with a purpose. Walk with a purpose and have the eyes like I get where I'm busy and I don't want to talk to anybody. And they leave you alone. It's amazing.
Yes. As they say in Congress, know how to beat the system.
Yes.
But
today is a run the clock type of play.
Yeah.
Today's a run the clock. I'm going to the movies tonight. I just got to hurry up and get through. So,
all right, go out and make it a good one and come back and join us again next week.
See ya.
See ya.